Uh, I'm going to show this. It says Larry McDonald here. It's an endorsement, if I can talk or think this morning, by Larry Flint in Hustler Magazine, and it was April of '84. I had run in a political campaign, and I'd written a book prior to that, MD: A License to Kill. It was about murders using mind control programming. Some people might like to call it, if I can even talk this morning, behavior modification, making people do things that they would never dream of doing, and they don't know they've been programmed. It's done at a low level that people aren't aware they're getting. And they're taught the Morse code over time and programmed to go out just like the Las Vegas shooter, Paddock, and the gentleman that just shot up at the church out there. There's a long list of them. Now I'm going to get to that. I'm going to turn it around. I've forgotten his last name, but anyway, I think it was Kelly, yeah. But anyway, you don't just start programming them overnight. So this goes back to when he was in the Army, and I usually show page out of Project Lucid, but I think it's Tex Mars or James Mars. It's talking about what I'm talking about, chipping people and putting root canals and heart bypasses and etc. in your body, and they control you. Everything you do, your decision making, make you have a heart attack, natural cause, it would appear, anything. Program you to go out and shoot like the Las Vegas, and a whole bunch of these are done that very way. And the man in the church that just shot it up, killed all those people, they didn't just start the day before and program him to go out and shoot. They started it back in the military. He was in the Air Force, and programmed him to beat up his stepson, his wife, so he had a history there of mental illness. This is what they've tried to blame, mental illness, when this is mind control, has nothing to do with mental illness. Now, I'm not going to go any further with this because I can't hear. I can hardly talk, and I can hardly remember what I'm supposed to say on here this morning. I have just gone out after a night of hell. I'm allergic to chemicals, and I've put all this up, and that's how they run me. It's the Patels and Shahs here in Roanoke area, Troutville, and they have gotten wealthy. They were sent over here from India to help me, and I'm British, and I put this up. I was kidnapped and brought over here in 1941, and they were sent over here to help me. And I'm going to go back to the Budget Inn. It was on Lee Highway, Williamson Road, Lee Highway, same thing, near the girls' campus out there. I've forgotten the name of it, out in the Hollands area. Anyway, if I can even think, it's hard to. I had saved up. I couldn't get jobs anymore, and I saved up and did a live-in, and I paid for a month there. And his name's Patel. Was the manager, and they own it. They bring the families over, and I paid it for a month. And then he comes up after I'm there a couple of days, and says he's going to come in and start remodeling in November. How about that? Cold up here, which was ridiculous, and it's part of this whole thing, running me from place to place because I have an autoimmune disorder. I'm allergic to chemicals. I'm going to once again say the state trooper, and right now I can't think of his name, Carl Barton. He gave me his address, he and his wife did, and I'm not going to say where it's here, but he used to be in Alexandria, Virginia. And he said, this is how we run you with chemicals. So all they'd have to do is put it like I think they're doing here in your air conditioning. They come in and clean it with something horrible, and you're supposed to take it outside to do that. They can do anything they want to because you can't, if you can't get an attorney, how you prove it other than I'm so sick. And by the way, if the last months has ever told what was done to me, I just got out of the hospital for vertigo because they were putting stuff that made me suddenly start having vertigo. I mean, bad. So I was in the hospital for 5 days, and I came back here, and it's owned by the Patels and Shah, Sonny Shah. And it's, anyway, that's all I'm going to say. I've stayed here most of the time since July, and it hasn't been funny, only at least this one was clean, reasonably clean. But I used all my money I get each month for that. I want to go back for the rent, so I have nothing left. And nobody in Roanoke is able or concerned about helping me. How do you think Roanoke grew? I came here in '86, and these people have gotten wealthy off of me being here. Not just the motel here with the Patels and Shahs. I want to go back to the Budget Inn I started telling about. He came up a couple of days later after I'd paid a month at the Budget Inn and said he was going to start remodeling inside and out. And I'd already told him I'm allergic to chemicals, and he already knew it. I understand now. Well, he's coming in anyway, so I called 911. This is way back. I don't know if it's 1990. It might have been, or 91. They tore it down right after then the Budget Inn. They tore it down right after that happened. But anyway, I called, and a cop came. And he told me that, I explained it to him, he put my hands behind me, and I can't remember if he actually put the cuffs on me. He put the cuffs there. Whether he locked them, I don't know. He says, you're the one that will have to leave. And I'm not going to go any further. I think he locked them, but anyway, he left. And Patel, the manager, said, I can't even think. It's got me so bad. Last night I was coughing up phlegm and passed out all night long except the bathroom and to cough, and so sick I can't stand it. I can't hear hardly. But anyway, he told me that listen to his words. He said, we're Americans now. We have to do what the Americans tell us to do. So this has been this whole thing, but here's what I was going to get it out and show you. There was an article in one of the local papers, not the Roanoke, one of the monthly. Somebody who had seen my YouTubes showed me this article. Now, I meant to put it up. It shows the Shah, Sonny Shah, where I'm at now. He owns this one. They co-own some of them, I think, he and Patel. But anyway, I can't think. Oh, man, I really can't. I'm so sick. I can't remember what I was going to say. I just asked for my money back here. They made me sign something. You come in because you think you're going to be able to stay and have clean air, and this is how they've run me. And then stand up there and tell me, well, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what I started to say now. I really don't. Anyway, I'm here, and stood here on off from July, and this is how they run me. And what's happened, it's unbelievable if it's ever told. I hoped that I would live to see it done, but the way I feel now, she offered to give me, how quaint, I'm paying weekly. She offered to give me, and it's handicapped, so it's not one of the better rooms. They've moved me. Day before yesterday, I have to move myself. I can hardly walk, and I'm so sick. Then I had to move here. I'm not going to go any further. They can do anything they want unless you can get an attorney to represent you. And I know what I started to tell. The article had in it about Sonny Shah being an entrepreneur and how nice it had the up-to-ups here in Roanoke at the banquet and honoring him. And here's what it, I can't think. Anyway, give me a minute. Okay, I am going to give you I wanted to get the article out and I didn't. But anyway, Sonny Shah is being honored, and this is back in 2014, I think. And it had your ex-governors, Mark Warner. Now, whether all of the ex-governors were here, there were a couple of them I know. John Edwards, the state senator, who I trusted. Let me put this here. They know all about me, my kidnapping, who my dad is. the mind control murders that have been done, and they have done nothing but enhance their own being. And being these very people I'm talking about that were at Sonny Shaw's banquet are in on the Intelligence Committee, the Judiciary, I can't talk, and they are on investigating people. They're the people in charge of investigating. They're the crooks. You got Mark Warner, you got Tim Kaine. Go back to the, see, I can't talk, huh? Whatever it is they put in here. It's like, I mean, anyways, the ex-governors, and Tim Kaine was on the ticket with Hillary Clinton for VP. And some years ago, he was governor, and he was supposed to release Jens Zorings, the German diplomat's son. And the next governor came in, McDonald, wouldn't do it. But anyway, it's one of the mind control murders that they're in prison, he and Elizabeth Haysom, for crimes they didn't commit in Bedford, Virginia. And you've got these ex-governors, and I didn't mention them all, I can't remember now, but you got the up-to-ups here at a banquet a few years ago honoring them. You got me, and I'm who I say I am. I'm the legitimate heir to the breech crown. They took down my dad with character assassination. He never married Wallace Simpson. She married a double. The Illuminati, the Freemasons, your global one world government took him down and helped kidnap me, part of my own family, George VI. Elizabeth's kept it up, kept quiet, made a fortune off of me. And I'm sitting here wondering if I'm going to be able to think. And they've run me from place to place. I used to can walk and put a backpack on. Now I can't. So I want you to remember what the Patel some years ago at Budget Inn said to me. And the cops said they'd lock me up and they put my hands behind me. And I know he put the cuffs there. Whether he actually locked them, I don't know. He said I was the one that would have to leave. So they aren't going to help me. And I'm going to tell you this. What they've been doing, your law enforcement, I've been telling about the mind control murders. I wrote about them way back then. And I bet this is not going up. Yeah. But I'm losing my train of thought. Can't talk. I wanted to put this up, though. Eric Rudolph, I couldn't remember it. These murders were done in patterns. I couldn't remember Eric Rudolph this morning. And I wanted to put that up. Whatever happens to me, I have to leave, and I don't have any money. And she was going to charge me for the night. All the hell that I've been through, she was going to charge me, and I pay weekly, and she wasn't going to give me enough back to even, where am I going right at the moment? I have to go somewhere. Now I've lost my train of thought. I don't know what I was going to say. I want to go back to, I can't remember his name now. Eric Rudolph. He was supposed to be the bomber from Atlanta, Olympic Park. And it turned out that Linwood, and I know Linwood, I've met him. He's actually been up here, and Terrell went back to Atlanta. He represented Ramsey, and these are mind control murders. But he represented, he didn't represent Eric, but what was the other guy that Richard Jewell or something, they claimed did the Olympic Park. And Linwood represented him, and then later the Ramsey, John Bonet's parents, because hers was mind control deal that was done to her. But if I can think now, and I can't. Well, anyway, he was on the, supposed to be on the Eric Rudolph, okay? Here's what I wanted to get into. When he was later found, it was take the name of where he was found, Murphy, North Carolina. And the cop that finally found him after all these years was named Scott. They've used my son's name, Scott, and Mark, in a lot of the murders, like the Tucson, Arizona with Gabby Gifford. She was married to Mark Kelly, and he was a twin to Scott Kelly, and they were both astronauts. And but anyway, I'm not going to go any further on it. This whole story behind Eric Rudolph and the ATF, and you got your law enforcement that are a part of this whole thing, and they come in and investigate it. And I forgot, I was trying to add something else here, because one of the things when I try to get a place to live, these people should be hauled into court. They don't try to do anything to stop it. These murders, if the press had been told about me and about the mind control murders, that this would have been stopped. You have to tell about it first. And I'm babbling because I don't know if I can even think when I get up from here. I can't go back and pick up what I was going to say. So I'm going to have to get off, because usually it's the air conditioning heating unit. And it wouldn't do me any good. They offered to move me. This is what they've been doing. This is what state troopers said. This is how we move you. But anyway, I was going to say something about law enforcement, and I know now what I was going to say. And so many of this, law enforcement comes in and they tell people to do things. They get, if it's a motel or something or an apartment, they get infractions that they've done, safety code violations, etc. Their kids have done something, or they actually are going to have the kids put in prison or killed. They threaten. Okay, rather than the people helping me, they go against me and help the cops. And they sit there so self-righteous, and I could name them, and I have, only there's a lot more. And they get to, like Edinburgh, they got to her. They got to, I think her name was Ellis, over in Bedford, got her. And I think it was her sister they were going to kill. And then that's how they do it. So Richfield, I want to get Richfield in here, because some of this happened, they were killed out at Richfield. And it's not me that killed them. I'm just the messenger that told, because they're done in patterns. So, but there's somebody that was living over there that I know, and he's FBI. And he actually was hired, not hired, he lived over there, and that's all I'm going to say about it. When they wouldn't let me come into Richfield, they made up lies. So I'm kept homeless and running around telling all this, and treated like a piece of. So I'm going to go. I meant to put that article up. They've gotten very wealthy, the Patels and Shahs, and with their connections up to, I wanted to put Bob Goodlatte. He's on the committees, and the last time I went into his office, and John Edwards, who's state senator, who was down the SunTrust building in Roanoke. Last time I went in there, I had been in there a lot, off and on over the years, and they totally know about me, my birth, my kidnapping, the mind control murders. And Bob Goodlatte, last time I came out of his office, I got on the elevator, and I put this up before. A man said, hold the elevator. He come out of the office behind me almost, out of Bob Goodlatte's. He got on the elevator, and he said, lady, if Bob Goodlatte helps you, he'll be living out in the National Forest with you. Well, he didn't help me, so look where he's gone. He's head of the intelligence, or I don't know if he's head, he's on the committees, the judiciary, and the ex-governors of Virginia are all way up there. So what chance in hell do I have?